All right, so this funny market that we're in has brought me another issue from multiple inquiries in the same regard. So let's talk about condition of the home first, and then we'll talk about the lending. With the condition of the home, here in this market, a lot of sellers aren't really committed to selling because they're a little bit skeptical as whether they're going to get the price that they need in order to make the decision to move forward. So they're putting their houses on the market without over investing in them, all the way down to doing nothing at all. I visited a couple of properties with one of my buyers, VA buyer, qualified up to 650,000, meaning that if she was going to buy a fixer and use the VA renovation loan, we would have to get it at a discounted price below that 650. So this is where just last week I saw, well, this week on Monday, I saw multiple properties, probably four or five, that were just put on the market with no work whatsoever done to get them ready. They were multi-unit properties, and that is also another thing about these that we were looking at, is that they were rental properties, and the landlord was not doing the maintenance, so there's lots of deferred maintenance. So is deferred maintenance enough to use a renovation loan? So what I'm talking about is primary residence loans, like FHA 203K and VA rehabilitation loans, um, that are a primary residence loan to buy something, put the investment into it, and then move into it. So let's talk about the VA loan because that's what we were doing. We were out there looking, and we looked at everything that was 600 or less here in San Diego. For one, those were only duplexes, and they were 2-bedroom duplexes on each side. In multiple places in this city, that's like six to, well, really 500 to 650 is what we're looking at. Um, the one that would be the best case scenario isn't even bad enough in order to qualify for the VA rehab loan, because the VA rehab loan is not intended to be used to uplift in the way that a flipper does. What it's intended to be used for is buying a property with a house that is unsafe or unhealthy to live in. So what makes things unsafe? Unsafe could be to you, the property owner, any of the tenants, including your family and friends, and to the home itself. So if there's already some wood rot going on, it would be unsafe for the home for you to allow for that wood rot to keep spreading. So the weird thing about wood rot and wood rot alone, though, with the VA loan, is that there's already a requirement for the primary residence loan that's not a renovation loan for you to get the wood rot taken care of, right? So termite and wood destroying organisms, being dry rot and wet rot, um, are the set. You need Section 1 clearance, which means current damage remediated. And then sometimes the appraiser and or the underwriter will see a couple of items in Section 2 and they'll require those also. So in this particular case, they would probably be like, no, the place does need new kitchens in both units. It needs new bathrooms in both units. It needs new floors. It needs new light fixtures. It needs new paint, right? All of those things can be done if you use the renovation loan to buy an unsafe or unhealthy home, but it's only going to allow for you to budget those types of finishings for anything that you would have to touch to make the place safe or healthy. All right, so I hope that this helps. It's a really difficult needle to thread, but we don't have to not talk about it. Talking about it in every single case that you think is applicable is not a waste of time. It gets us talking, and it gets us to, our juices flowing and our ideas going, and circumstances, and we can answer a bunch of if then questions and concerns that would come up in any scenario. So give me a call if you want to talk through anything in particular, any property in particular, and we can determine together if we think that it is likely or unlikely to be the deal. And remember that me, the real estate agent, and you, the buyer, are not the ones that decide that the loan qualifies, right? It would be the underwriters of the loan. So all we can do is use our best judgment to predict what the underwriter would end up approving. And we can always rope in the loan officer in the conversation because maybe they've seen or dealt with, maybe they've seen situations like that get approved and dealt with the underwriters and know which underwriters are easy to work with and which underwriters are difficult to work with. And what kind of evidence will they need in order to get it approved? All right, I hope this helps. Give me a call if you need the conversation, or if you just want to chat about something else, I'm here for you.